It's midday in Freetown. Good afternoon and welcome to the podium. Our quote for today comes from Itzhak Perlman, an Israeli musician, and it says, "There is no medicine like hope, no incentive so great, and no tonic so powerful as expectation of something tomorrow." We're coming up in this edition of the podium. Sick Babies Foundation set to organize marathon to raise funds for babies with critical ailment. Ambitious Sierra Leonean women poised to give an international look to Sierra Leone's Garatai dye fabric. Dairy services to host a fundraising dinner for capital intensive agro-tourism project. And Muslim students in secondary school promotes Islamic education in schools. Well, all these and more coming up in this edition of the podium, which you can be part of by sending your messages to 088-373-504. The number is 088-373-504. This is the podium coming to you live on SBC Television. My name is Daphne Zainab. Welcome to the podium. An organization comprising people from different walks of life have formed Sick Babies Foundation with the aim to support babies with critical conditions that cannot be cured in Sierra Leone. Currently, there are 4 cases of children with critical cases which cost over $90,000. As part of the fundraising drive, the foundation is to organize a Sick Babies Marathon from the stadium to the Family Kingdom on the 20th of April. The run is to seek funds from individuals and institutions. Well, Samuel Momodu Kante is the chair partnership and sponsorship committee, Sick Babies Foundation. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Now, Samuel, before we talk about the run, let's talk about these babies you are raising funds for. How many of them? Because the amount here, $90,000.
Thank you very much. First of all, the cases we have over 4. We now have 2 local cases. That is cases that are curable here.
Oh.
Yes, we have 2. These are, well, Aminata Sise, and there is another Maria Tutue. They were born without an anus. You understand? Which means they cannot excrete. But Dr. Ealebi, for the case of Maria, for example, Dr. Ealebi in 2017 conducted a surgery and created an opening for her so that she could be in the position to do same. Now, the rest of the other cases are outside our grip as a nation. Now, one is Badamasi Samora. He's a 2-year-old young man. He has a Wilms tumor, which simply means both his kidneys are affected. And in fact, the left kidney is worse. For the issue of Badamasi, we will need up to about $16,000 to solve his problem. Also, we have Jeremiah. Jeremiah Kuroma is a 3-year-old born without an anus. However, his situation is peculiar, so much that it cannot be done here. As a result, we'll have to...
Why? What makes it different?
Well, you know, there is the situation of take your victim as you find them. This one may have the physical makeup that may be able to withstand whatever the situation is here, but that one is a different situation altogether. So, for his case, we will need about $8,000 to have it settled. We also have Mustafa Jawad Tunis. Now, Mustafa was born with what we call spina bifida. It simply means it's a birth defect. He cannot excrete at all. You know, his situation is so much that he has in fact deformed legs and also deformed sexual organs. It's serious, and for him we need about $20,000 to be able to settle his challenge. We have Amina Tamara, a 16-year-old, well, by the way, Mustafa is a 14-year-old young man.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
So
Amina,
he has lived with that for 14 years.
you will imagine. You will imagine. It's serious. We have Amina Tamara, a 16-year-old with a left orbit tumor. A lady. She has a swollen face. You will see that she is badly hot.
Yeah, I've seen that.
For her, we actually do need about $26,000. It's that serious. Now, for Maria to A, we only need 3 million loans. The local case.
Okay.
So
How old is Maya?
Maria 2 is about 2 years.
But there's free medical for
Beautiful.
that age range.
Beautiful. The only reason why we actually do need the 3 million loans is to buy, she needs blood transfusion and a few other things which are not covered by the free medical. You understand? These are not covered by the free medical. As a result, we want to now take the opportunity of raising that $353 so that we can just obtain the remainder of the things that are not covered by the free medical itself. Apart from the specifics of the marathon, these are the cases we have in front of us.
All right. Okay, so we'll come to the specifics of the marathon, like you said. Let me move to another guest this afternoon. Well, another guest in the studio and an organization comprising young people from different walks of life have established the Diary General Services, which is a private liability company and agro-tourism in Sierra Leone. The organization will today host a fundraising dinner at Radisson Blue for the implementation of over 100-acre rice vegetable farm and 10-acre poultry project. The project will provide jobs for youths and income for farmers. The theme for today's fundraising is to promote agricultural business for young people. Well, in the studios, we have someone here who will talk about it. Excuse me. Your name, please.
Good afternoon. I am Ahmed Ramadan Jaro.
Yes, Ahmed, let's talk about this organization. How do you intend in bringing these two together, agro-tourism culture in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, thank you very much. The world is now moving towards tourism. We know how much tourism generates for our country. And in agriculture as well, it generates huge amount of money. It's an income-based investment. So we are blending the two. Basically, when you talk about agriculture and tourism, people want to know what are the nexus between these two things. Agriculture, we've decided to make it agro-tourism because whatever we do on the farm, we want to make it, you pay for what you see. When you come to the farm, if you want to go through the rice plantation, you want to go through the banana plantation or the planting, you have to pay. And that will only happen during the harvest period. We'll be having harvest festivals where people will come subscribe to go to the farm and pay. Quite apart from that, we'll also be having readily available machines on the farm that is going forward. If you visit the farm, you'll be taken along by tour guides who will explain the different components of the farm.
So the farm is already in existence?
The land has been secured.
Okay, just
yes, the poultry structures are already there, instruments are already there. Immediately after the dinner, we hope to transport the birds to the poultry site, the sheep and goats as well. That is where we are going to start. But like I said, currently registration is ongoing in Seneum for interested young people to come on board to register and express their interest in working on the farm. Yeah, for the dinner tonight, we'll be launching, it's going to be a fundraising dinner and official launching of the project, an agro-tourism farm for youth empowerment project. It's no longer a hidden secret that unemployment poses a huge threat to developing countries, to which Sierra Leone is not an exception. And we know how currently our young folks behave. Most of them are on this tramadol and kush, and we know the repercussions. So coming in with a program like this, we hope that it will attract the necessary support that we are yearning for, so that we'll be able to create jobs for our young people. That will serve as an alternative to their idle pursuits.
Okay. And now talking about support, we know that we have the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Agriculture. Have you liaised with them to work with them? Because that should be their area. They should be the first to come in and support such a venture.
Of course, yes. We are in good relationship with the Tourism Ministry and also the Agriculture Ministry. Interestingly, a program like this is supposed to be owned by the Youth Affairs Ministry. Sometimes when I talk about that, I laugh, because when young people have put their efforts together to move forward with their own revenue, their own money, all that is required from institutions that are supposed to man affairs is to encourage them to go further. But that's not seen coming from the Youth Affairs Ministry. Honestly, 6 months we've been trying to engage the Youth Affairs Ministry to no avail. We are not insisting on seeing the minister. He's the professional head. He's so busy, we agree. But if he cannot see us, if he cannot sit to dialogue with us, delegate responsibility to other professional heads. But honestly, it's frustrating. But
they'll say they have a lot on their plate. You know, they have the youth farm, they have the youth projects also.
We've heard about this youth farm since the Ernest Kroma government. What has been done to
But I don't think they want to. They will have a part to play in yours, but it's not owned by the government.
Well, what we are saying, we actually requested for support, right? If that support is not forthcoming, we requested for institutional and financial support.
So what support
if the financial
are you getting
support
from Agriculture, Ministry
it's
and
not
Tourism?
coming, then let there be the institutional support. They are the youth ministry. There's no way they can abandon what we are doing.
So let's talk about those other ministries.
They are
What
on board.
support are you
The
getting
fact that
from
we've
them?
met with the Minister of Agriculture, he has pledged his support,
Okay.
and processes are now ongoing with the Tourism and Agriculture Ministry. Owning the project, it's a way of supporting it. You need not to give money at all times. But even the mentorship is another way.
Okay. Apart from the fundraising activities, how do you get funds?
Well, that's again an interesting question. Most times, like coming from the youth angle, from Youth Arise, which I am the coordinator, and it has been in existence for over 20 years, what we used to do is to use our own money to empower young people. And then if donors see the need to support, they can come in. Like what the US Embassy did in 2012, they supported us with some grants for us to engage into non-violence activities during and after the 2012 election. So what we are doing now, we are using our own resources, even to secure the land, pay lease, because we are leasing the land. It's coming from us. That shows how prepared and ready we are with taking this thing forward. Normally, we wait for donor funding to come before we start implementing, but we are now using our own money. It speaks volume. It tells you that we are ready, and we hope it will continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Continue to stay with us, Ramadan. We'll get back to you to talk about the fundraising dinner. Another issue this afternoon, a Sierra Leonean has introduced and will launch the Izelia Experience, a Gara tie, dye and dye fiesta in Freetown on the 5th of and the 7th of April 2019. The Izelia Experience is a brand that was birthed by Izelia Fashion House and focused on the 21st century using made in Sierra Leone fabric called Gara. The project is to support and empower cooperative women and youth. Izelia works with Ed McKinney. The launch will be followed by high fashion runway and exhibition. But for more on the issue, I have in the studios the CEO and founder, Izelia Fashion House, Aisatu Harrison. Good afternoon, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you, my sister, my friend, my colleague, my everything on the show.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the fabrics that you use. You decided not to seek for other fabrics elsewhere. You decided to use the local Gara we use here.
Yeah.
But I know they will be interesting, the markings and all the designs.
Yeah.
So let's talk about why you chose that.
Gara has been in existence in Sierra Leone for years, for decades. We had lots of Gara before the war, and lots of families depended on it. Lots of you know, now the lawyers, the engineers, most of them, you know, we have families who depended on, you know, Gara to educate all of these lawyers and engineers, and, you know, so Gara played a really important role in our economy before the war and then the war. And most of these people who were involved in Gara making or Gara selling lost all their businesses. And so we saw a trend where, you know, Gara was sort of dying a natural death. Like, for example, my mom has been in the field forever. Like, before even I was born, she used to do Gara. So when I thought of coming back home, as I traveled, you know, to London and lived in London for about 20 years, I thought of coming back home. I thought about it, and I wanted to do something, you know, something that would contribute to our economy, something that would make a difference to the youth, to young people. And before I came, I've been working with women in McKinney. And so it was a natural thing for me to do, come back home and then work with Gara. It's part of our culture, part of our heritage. So the only thing I've done to it is put a twist and make it modern, so that young people can wear it, older people can wear it, and we can, you know, wear it with pride.
Yeah, because that's why it lost the trend and the fashion. It was left out.
Yes.
Because sometimes you have the same designs being used over and over again, and people will think it's not interesting enough, like the Ankara.
Yes.
Every day you get new
designs,
fascinating designs.
Yes.
So let's talk about how you've modernized.
So what I've done, you know, with what we're doing right now,
I've brought samples for
I
us.
know, but we have the launch today.
Okay.
I call it the corporate evening. We have it at Radisson Blue, and there we have lots of different Garas, you know, modern Garas. But we're also not forgetting that, you know, the tradition, like all the patterns that you used to see, you'd see them, but then the colors will be different. So again, to answer your question, so what I've done, we've been working with young people, and some of these people, you know, like we have a really skilled boy who does batik and use the stamps. So I have, you know, created like new stamps with flowers or designs that we think, okay, would sort of work with our Gara. And he creates the stamps for like different stamps, like modern stamps. So something like that you would see at the exhibition or the runway. We have a 3-day event. Today is the launch, and we have a runway show where everything, I've designed a collection, a signature Gara collection. Everything you'd see on the runway today would be made by women in Sierra Leone and made in Sierra Leone, and it's all Gara, tie-dye and batik. And then we have tomorrow, which is the exhibition, and Sunday as well. For the exhibition, it's 25,000 to go in, so that we encourage like families to come with their kids, and we just celebrate what we have. And then on Sunday we have the finale, and we have like a big Gara party, your Gara outfit and something. Just make it stylish, make it modern.
Okay, and also before we come to how the women benefit from this project, let's talk about, because most of the time people do not like that stiff fabric.
Yes.
You know, the concept is there always, as long as it's Gara, it has to be really on that stiff one.
Yeah.
You know, now things are modern. People
Absolutely.
like the silky touch,
Absolutely,
you know, the soft fabric.
Yeah.
Let's talk about if you have those.
Yes, we have all of that. So you know, it's not just the brilliant that you used to you know have when you talk about Gara. So now you do silk. Now you do, you know, like different softer fabrics, softer cottons. We've got like 100% cotton. So some of the fabrics actually I bring from abroad, and then we dye here. As long as it is 100%, the only thing with Gara, like with dyeing, it has to be 100%. So if you're doing silk, it has to be 100%.
Because they can always stand the dye or the
process
soda or whatever
absolutely.
is used.
So just make sure it's 100%. If it's cotton, it has to be 100%. If it's viscose, you know, so we've used different fabrics, and it would be interesting for you to see and feel the different textures that we've used for especially the exhibition.
Okay, so now let's come to the women that
Yeah.
benefit from this.
Yeah. We have women in McKinney that I've been working with, but I just don't want to concentrate on McKinney alone. However,
But
the
we
reason
know
why
that McKinney used to be
McKinney
the hub.
is the hub. It used to be the district, the Gara district. So this is why, I mean, it's only right that if we start working on Gara, we start with the district where it all started, or where we used to have the hub. So we have a hub in McKinney. We have all these women. So when I came back like 3 years ago, I started working with these women. Like I said, my mom has been in Gara, my auntie has been in Gara, my grandmother has been in Gara, and the place that we use right now as our training grounds in Makini is my grandmother's compound. So we're planning to have a training, provide formal training in Makeni. But we also will then extend to like different parts of the country where they do Gara. Like for instance, they do Gara in Bo, in Tongo, you know, Kalau. They do Gara in different places.
Yes.
But we'll find like headquarter towns where we will then sort of have training so that we can, you know, we can sustain, you know, for the sustainability. But the women that have been working with us, they've been working with us for like 3 years now. And some of them you get to meet as well, because I've brought most of them from Makini, so at the exhibition you'll meet them throughout the 3 days.
Okay, so will they be there displaying how the process is done?
We are doing that tomorrow. We're doing that on Saturday. So we want to display the process of how it's done. I'm trying so that we get the full circle.
Okay.
There's only one circle that's missing right now, because you know, like when you do the Gara, for it to get that shine, you have like, you know, big stakes, and you know that they do this, you know, they're pounding it. So that's the bit that's missing right now. But the whole process, you would say.
Okay, and also now that you plan to train all of these women in district headquarter towns, let's talk, because sometimes people come to this country, train girls, women, youths, and all of this, and with just the education, they are there. They do not have startup kits. They do not have what it takes to go about implementing what they've learned. Let's talk about
There's a lot
you
of
do.
work. There's a lot of work now going on. I mean, the American embassy is involved. There's another organization, it doesn't come to mind, but they're involved in, like, you know, working a tax break for us in terms of exporting, like, you know, local fabrics, especially. There was a conference that was held about 2 weeks ago, and it's mainly on how we export from here, especially with our local fabrics. The problem we have is the volume, because we're not able to produce volume, and that's where we come in. Like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to address. So now we have the training, you know, in Makeni, and we have young people. There are lots of young people in Makeni. Lots of families where you have all the kids know about Gara, but there's nothing for them to do. So hopefully, you know, with the training, and then we're able to produce in volume, we can work with these organizations in terms of exporting it. So they're not just training, they will be employed afterwards. So we have like a factory, you know, we have a factory chain where we do the training, and then they go into work, and then they'll be able to have, you know, again, we have women.
So what
there.
about individuals who would like to do it like a business venture?
Absolutely. We would encourage that. I mean, I'll encourage individuals who want to do it as a business venture. Please, you know, get in touch. Our headquarters is in Aberdeen Road, 8D Sir Samuel Lewis Road, what used to be Aberdeen Road. And you can get in touch there at Isilia. Get in touch, come, stop by, let's have a chat. And if you want to take this, you know, as a personal venture, you want to be self-employed, I absolutely encourage you to come in, you know, get in touch, and then we'll work together.
Okay, thank you very much. I too will come to your inspiration, because I saw your videos and everything on BBC, CNN, and all of this. So we'll come to that later. Continue to stay with us. She is the CEO and founder of Isilia Fashion House, Isatu Harrison. For another issue this afternoon, an organization has been set up for Muslim students in secondary schools with the aim to encouraging Muslims to acquire the Muslim teaching alongside the formal education. Umar Jallo is the president, Sierra Leone Muslim Students Association. Welcome to the show, Umar.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Now let's talk about what you do.
I commence by sending praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and special peace and blessings upon our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Sierra Leone of Muslim students in secondary schools with the acronym SLUMSIS was formed since 2008 to see how best we can unite Muslim students from diverse secondary schools in propagating Islam. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now. We've been in existence for the past 10 years. And we have many things that we've achieved, and we have things again that we want to achieve.
So let's talk about what you have achieved.
For now, we have schools in Sierra Leone. I'm talking of government schools, Christian-oriented schools, and Muslim schools who are now having Muslim Jamaat in their schools. And also, we've succeeded in distributing items to those schools, like praying items, learning items, and then we have branches at the provincial areas again as well. We also organized, we've succeeded in organizing inter-secondary school competition to see how best we unite students together. And presently we're working on a project Buy a Van and Build an Islamic Educational Center. Why we aim at building this Islamic Educational Center is for us to see how best we can get a platform for Muslim students where they can come together and seek the Islamic education. Today, we're only focusing on the secular education, and then we as students forget about the Islamic value, our constitutional right. And today, we've come together as Muslim students to see how best we can get something, you know, creative and something that we can learn. We learn morals, and then we teach things that are beneficial to students. And we are contributing factor towards national development. Today, we're fighting against corruption. Yeah, that's it. But if we want to fight against corruption, we cannot start from the branches and then come to the root. We start from the roots, then we move on to the branches. Like corruption, it starts from the early stage, the stage when you're a student. Like if a teacher asks me to pay for a field trip with an amount of 15,000 leons, and then I'll go home and tell my parents that they asked me for field trip an amount of 30,000 leons, their corruption starts. So if you want to get rid of corruption, you start from the grassroots, from that stage when the child is in school. So we train students how to free from corruption. Because if you have that Islamic value and that religious consciousness, you know, you'll not take something that doesn't belong to you. Like, this thing doesn't belong to me, and I will not take it because I know if I take it, there's the punishment in the hereafter. The time that I'm in court with my creator, and there's the punishment that I'll face. So with this all, we are a contributing factor towards national development. So with this, we're calling on the government, we're calling on NGOs, we're calling on private business sectors for them all to come together and join us achieving our goal. Now, just like I said, we are working on a project Buy a Van and Build an Islamic Educational Center. The project Buy a Van is 71 million project. We want to start with the smaller project, then we get on to the bigger project, which is
so what's that about? You buy a van?
Why we intend on buying this van is for it to be a source of income which will aid the affairs of the union. Like, we are students, we find it difficult to generate finance to reach our colleague students outside there, to reach students at the provincial areas and teach them our goals, teach them what we are aiming at. So with that, if we have that van, we can easily reach each and every part in Sierra Leone for us to establish a union again as well. And again, if we have that van...
So how do you hope to raise funds to buy that?
In generating the finance, we set up a strategy on how we to raise this finance. We have the internal fundraising structure and the external fundraising structure. The internal one involve membership corporation, like we prepare something like a dash cards, a coupon that members will be taken out to parents and people outside there for them to support the union.
What about Muslim organizations?
We try to reach them again as well. And another fundraising structure is the external. And we prepared project proposals that will be sending on to government officials. We're sending out to NGOs, to private business, and to other personalities in our society again as well. So this is how we intend to generate this finance for this particular project. But we're calling on everybody to come and support Muslim students. You know, at this stage, if we can get that awareness on how we to propagate Deen and how we to contribute towards national development, I think it is something beneficial, and we need people to come on board and support us, because we find it difficult in generating finance, in getting our colleagues together. Like, one challenge that we're facing presently, it is a peer group challenge. Like, when we get into these students to engage them and tell them about their values, what their purpose of life, you know, you have others again that are coming to them, deviate their minds, tell them that, no, come to us, this is what we teach you, come and take drugs, come and do this, let's go out involving things that are unnecessary. And in planning for a brighter future, we have to start now. If we want to be leaders today, these slums, we've produced leaders, people that are leading in diverse areas. So if we want to build up that structure again, we are to start now.
And also, talking about teaching them to acquire Muslim teaching, you know, there are some Muslim children who cannot even recite a verse or a surah or even their Fatiha. And so, and now you're saying you're targeting them in schools. What about their parents? Because most times they'll be taught these things in school, but if they do not practice them at home, it's results to nothing.
We target the students and the parents again as well. We try to meet with them, discuss with them, explain to them our ideas, then after which we try to visit the parents and then get discussion with the parents. With that, I think we can make something
because
bigger
it's the parents'
brighter.
duty to, at least if you're
Sure.
you know you're a Muslim, you should instill the Islamic discipline in them.
Values.
Because we all went through that.
Sure.
When we were born, we had to go to Quranic school to learn some
Sure.
of these things. But now it's not being done. So how, with their formal education and the Islamic, how would they combine that?
Yeah,
if they did not grow up being
sure.
taught all of those.
You know, it can definitely work. You know, there's nothing that can stop you from being a medical doctor and be an imam again as well. Nothing can stop you to be a professional lawyer and be an imam again as well.
Okay.
You know, we creating this platform where we teach the secular education and again the Islamic education again as well, which is our main target.
So is this coming from a particular sect or it's just Islam?
It is just Islam.
Okay, thank you
Just
very
Islam.
much. Thank you so much, Umar Jallo, President of the Sierra Leone Muslim Students Association. Well, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we continue with the podium. Stay with us. Well, the program is the Podium, coming to you live on SLBC Television in Freetown. Well, for another issue this afternoon, Genstore Entertainment Company is an entertainment and tourism organization. The company grooms and supports young talents so that they can tap into their talents to reach their full potentials. One of the Genstore's success stories is MDE Bathist will launch their first album today. Mohammed Aliyu Ba is from Genstore Entertainment Company. Mohammed, good afternoon and welcome to the podium.
Yeah, thanks for
Now
having
let's
me.
talk about this entertainment company. What do you do?
Yeah, basically, as you rightly said in your introduction, we groom young talent because we believe Sierra Leone is full of young people and all these young people are full of talent. But because we don't have people that can manage them, tap into their talent so they can reach their full potentials, this young talent end up dying of natural death. So what we decided to do is, when we came, we decided to harness this young talent, and basically they are doing very well. One of our success stories today is launching her first album, a student at Mentimagai University, Mentimagai College, Congo Cross, also pursuing her final year there. At the same time, she's about to launch her first album. So you see, so it tells you that there is so much potential. It tells you there is so much potential in the young people in this country. So basically, we are a company that is into tourism and also entertainment.
So how?
But we focus more on the young people. We don't want to go in for the bigger ones because they have already made it. So we want the young ones to achieve just as the big ones have achieved.
So how do you get these people? Do they come to you, tell you,
So
or
basically,
you pick out their talent?
yes, we stage auditions.
Oh.
When we formed our organization in 2017, after our CEO, somebody who has lived in the diaspora, Asia to be specific, for decades, he saw the way young people are doing very well there. So when he came, he said he looked for like-minded people. By then I was at National Tourism Board as communications officer there. He called on us and said, you know what, there is so much talent here and we need to harness this talent and do well for them. So the first thing we did was we staged an audition wherein talent from across the country.
Music.
Yeah, music, not only music, art also. And we figured out few that did very well. We also staged our first program at the River Number 2, where we showcase the beauty of that beach, which happens to be the 5th most beautiful beach according to UNW, United Nations World Tourism Organization, 5th most beautiful beach in West Africa and 20th in the world. We showcased the beauty of that talent. We invited tourists across the world. They came. So these young people also performed there. They were figured from by these tourists that came. So you see, and MD Baddest has been very outstanding amongst all of them. Today she's launching.
MD Baddest.
Yeah, she's MD Baddest. She's launching her first album, VIP album, today at the Eastern Paris. At Eastern Paris at 8 p.m. today, Shell O Road.
Okay, so let's talk about how many songs does she?
She has an album which comprises of 12 songs and 3 videos.
So she did it all on her own, or with help from
she
you guys?
did it from her. She did it on her own from our own support, because we financially support. So that we manage her basically.
So it's like from the audition, she became the winner, and that's
well,
productive.
She is doing well than all of them, and all the other talents we are grooming.
So how would you groom the others to do well like her?
Definitely.
Because from how many people did you audition?
Definitely.
And then you just bring out one.
Yes, we have over 15 of them nationwide.
Okay.
But given that she is more outstanding than all of them, we want her to be the beacon of light, or the role model amongst all of them. And most of them now are seeing her as a role model.
Okay. Thank you very much. Continue to stay with us in the program, where once more we come over to the Partnership and Sponsorship Committee, member of Sick Babies Foundation. Now, Samuel, let's talk about the marathon. How do you hope to gain funds from that?
Thank you very much. As far as fundraising for the marathon goes, we have the committee which I chair, the Partnership and Sponsorship Committee, which is tasked to, well, raise not just funds, but also create contacts. So what we've done is send out letters to, well, institutions, corporate bodies, and individuals, so as to ensure that those who can give us financial support will give same, and those who can give us contacts to people locally and internationally, because we're not just here to raise funds, we are here to find solution to the sickness, the ill of these children. So the only way we think we can do that is if somebody cannot give a financial support, but you may well know someone, perhaps a specialist abroad, who can do same, home and dry.
So out of $90,000, how much have you gathered?
An unfortunate reality, we only have 9 million. A very unfortunate reality. However, we have talks on the way as at now. These 9 million euros had been raised over the period. In fact, it was because of the snail pace in which the raise was going on. That was why we decided to accelerate it by staging this marathon. Now, the marathon will serve as an eye-opener and shed a light to many who really don't know that this is what we're doing. People thought that having successfully completed the Baby Mustafa campaign, the Baby Marian and Baby Mariam campaign, everything is done. But hey, immediately we concluded all of those, then we had calls from different facets. In fact, people who come to, for example, a case was sent to us from Radio Democracy 98.1. They directed the people to the lead campaigner's office, Ishmael Charles, and he was approached and told, this is the situation, and calls coming here and there, we now have about 7 cases. Just four of which totaling 97,000.
So you have 7. Why are you concentrating on these 4? Are they the emergencies?
No. I said the 2 cases
Okay.
can be solved locally.
All right.
So already we've set them for their surgeries.
Okay.
And the one, the family, having raised the eyebrows, the family now have devised a way to raise the $35,000. And they are taking him away.
Okay.
Yes. That's the case. As a result, we're now limited back to 4.
Okay.
So all we have to do now is raise the funds for the 4. That's the whooping sum.
So how many people will be participating
In the marathon, registration is underway.
Okay.
And as far as the
When is
specific
the
goes,
marathon?
the marathon is on the 20th
Okay.
of this month. And we leave the National Stadium at 8 a.m., progress to the Family Kingdom Abadan Beach, and the clearance as far as our logistics and organizing committee goes, the clearance from the Sierra Police has been granted. We are now only awaiting the mayor's office to give us same. After which, we will only now concentrate on having more people. I will in fact come here to SLBC to have you guys subscribe. It's 25,000 leones for the subscription for the marathon, and we printed T-shirts, and that one goes for 50,000. So individuals will pay 75,000, and organizations will subscribe 250,000 as an organization, and they buy T-shirts for the people who they want to participate for 50,000. Now,
so for now, how many people have you got to know the amount you're getting for?
I will not tell you for a fact. The reason being, we scatter.
But it's substantial.
It's substantial with division of labor, so that we'll have more. In fact, I'm sure I am with registration details, so I will not have to go to my office and come back. I will just pass by the service.
Okay, so let's talk about the emergency of these cases.
They are very urgent. I assure you, they're so urgent that if you will imagine somebody does not excrete, and you want to ask about whether or not it is urgent, I will say it's extremely urgent, because every day you sleep and wake up, it gets worse. Like the young man Badamasi, who has the Wilms tumor, the left
The
kidney.
14 years.
The 2-year-old. The 2-year, 20 months old. The left tumor is the left kidney is already worse damage. So it's urgent. Every day they sleep. If we have the monies today, we'll send them tomorrow.
So what if you have money for just one? Which of these 4?
It's going to be a work in progress.
No,
Which of these 4 will take
yes,
precedence?
Yes.
We have not sat down to decide that.
Oh, okay.
We have not.
So when you have the money, that's when you make
If,
the choice.
for example, we are to raise 97,000 and we already do have, say, 16,000, or perhaps, in fact, 8,000, we will let Jeremiah go.
Okay.
Because his is 8,000. Why not take it off the hook? Every one of them is equally important.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel Momodu Conte and Amedu Ramadan Jallo. Now the fundraising will be tonight at Radisson Blue, same venue as Isaiah. Do you have different spaces?
Radisson Blue
The
is
same time?
The same time. They have different facilities.
Okay.
and
All right.
spaces.
So let's talk about how yours will be like tonight.
Like I said initially, we'll be launching the initiative together with the dinner.
Is it paid for?
Yeah, it's paid for similarly to Isaiah's 250, the minimum. And we've had people who've subscribed already.
Okay.
So we're going to cater for those who've subscribed, and also there are people who will be going there on gratis based on the support that have been given to the program. And going forward, what we are interested in is the stories. Implementing this project after 1 year, we'll have to come out with documentaries, videos that will translate their stories. We are mainly interested in how you were before this program came in. After you became part of this program for this period, the revenues you've generated, how has it changed your life? Those are the stories that we are interested in.
Okay, so let's talk about the phase you're on now.
Well, this is the first phase, or the second
Get-
phase. The first phase was to
Get the land.
Yeah, get the land. We move across the country, and it's based on the availability of
You
the
already
land
have. Why?
and the fertility of the soil.
Why?
So we have in Kailaun 25 hectares, but considering the distance, is 17 miles from Pendebu to Kailaun, how difficult it is, it's like 100 miles to do. So we decided to use the Sene, which is very closer to the city. For perishable goods can be easily taken to Freetown and then get it to the market, unlike taking it from Kailaun.
So
But we also
after
hope
the
to
land
get there.
is there, so what else? After the fundraising?
Immediately after the fundraising, we hope to take the birds to the poultry center.
Oh,
That is going
okay.
to be our first
That's-
step,
okay.
and get those youths employed. The farm will be making use of 100 youths,
Okay.
150 youths. These 150 youths will come, acquire some land, we give them portions of land. Those will be able to cultivate on 5 acres or
From
2 acres.
The
They'll have
area
to
it's
work.
located or
In
from all over
Senem.
Sierra Leone?
In
No, the
Senem.
people.
The people, well,
To
we'll
work
make it
there.
all over Sierra Leone.
Okay.
There's no barrier to migration. You can
Alright.
migrate if you have a job. So if you don't have a job here in Freetown and there's one in Senem, why can't you go there and work?
Okay.
At the end of the day, it will get you empowered. So each and every one of them, or by group, they will own land. Cultivate on this land, who provide the seeds, the machineries, will give them the expertise. You
Okay.
work, at the end of harvest, you have 60%.
Okay, so thank you so much. Isatu Harrison, let's talk about the inspiration. How did you get this inspiration? Because like I know you know, we have been in this job. You were at the UN, but all of a sudden I see my sister becoming a fashion icon. Let's talk about how you got your inspiration. And people will be thinking, now that you're doing Karatai dyeing, you're dealing with African fabric,
Yeah.
the name should be African.
Absolutely, the name should be African. But the brand itself, Izelia, is named after my daughter, who is Izela, and Izela means little princess. So to me, this project is a little princess that I have to nurture, and you know, I need the help of all of you ladies, all the people that we can get, and to help us nurture this. So it was important for me to name it after my daughter. That's how much, you know, how important it is. In terms of the inspiration, now, my mom, like I said, it's been in the family. My mom did Gara tie-dye way before I was born, and growing up, that's what she did. And she used to do the Gara on the side, and then she had like, you know, these machines, like the hand machines, you know. That's my memory of my mom. We grew up in Kono, and we had a big compound where on the ground floor, you know, they did all of this Gara stuff, and then you have women who used to come. Back in the days, there was no name for it. There was not, you know, nothing about women movement, women this. It was just about women working together.
Okay.
And that's what my mom did. She brought together women, local women around, you know, women in the neighborhood, in the community, and lots of them used to come and work and then get all this Gara and go to places like Koindu to sell. And she was just literally just organizing all of these women and providing, you know, for their family, helping them provide for their families. So that was in my family. Long time. So I used to see my mom, and I used to be there helping her cut and stitch. And so when I moved, when I went to London and I studied and, you know, started work, I worked in the corporate world. I worked here for a while. I had a baby. Going back to work, it was tough. I couldn't leave my child and be in the corporate office like endless hours. So it was a natural thing for me to do. But before then, I used to do, you know, buy things like from junks.
Yes.
and change them and make them my own. So it was a natural thing for me to do. That's how I go, you know, I went into the fashion design world. And then I went back to college to study fashion design after my MBA.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For some text messages, this one says the Sick Babies Foundation will seek support from the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. That money is too much for it to be raised in a marathon or partnership. The solution to this problem is to get a big hospital to care those critical, I beg your pardon, ailments. These monies are too much. I don't think you will meet the deadline. Among the 4 cases, which one is more pressing, so you could start from there? Well done, Izelia Fashion House, for such a laudable move. We need to wear our own. The Diary Services Program is good. The Ministries of Finance, Youth, and Agriculture must support them. I agree that the Ministry of Youth must take the lead. I wish the diary service as well. These guys are very productive. They've been in the forefront under Youth Arise on youth awareness issues. Well, to the sick babies.
These are laudable messages, and yes, I doff my hat to the texters. I agree 100% that we should seek support from the Ministry of Health. We've done so, and the commitment has been made to support our undertaking. But even if the ministry or government, if you like, will give us support, they told us outrightly it will not be 100%.
Okay.
More reason why we need to augment and see how we can raise more resources. I also agree and subscribe 100% to the suggestion about strengthening our health system. In fact, during discussion this morning on the morning coffee, I made same suggestion. It's about time government started paying attention to our health care system, not just for under 5, not just for lactating and pregnant women, but also for its citizenry. We are lagging behind as a nation.
If you have not taken up this, and they are speaking business also, do you work with Adonis Abud on?
Well, you see, we have not had the opportunity so to do.
But
The
you
point
should, because
is,
he started it. Yes.
well, you see, the initiatives may be the same, but the focus or perhaps the inspiration may be different. When I am a lawyer by profession, but I am here advocating for sick children, that don't look me as a lawyer, please look at me as an advocate for kids, and please give me little resources so I can come give to those who care, perhaps more than I do. But it's not about what you show in the face of the public that you want to do. It's about what you really do with your spare time. I should be in court right now, perhaps. I should be in my chambers attending to my private clients and making money.
And I think, and I know that because of your passion in all this, when you win these cases and you are paid big monies, you'll be...
That's the focus.
Okay.
That's the focus. The focus is to have more people from different walks of life to say, we are willing to come support. Now, I was saying, as a nation, we've lagged behind as far as medics go.
Okay.
If, as a nation, we cannot ensure we have all the appropriate and modern machinery for scanning, testing, and what have you, then we still say we're Sierra Leone, a very rich and resourceful nation. It's a shame.
Okay, thank you very much. Ramadan, people are commending your project, especially the part where you said the monies to start initially came from you guys. How many of you are in this organization?
Well, the management team, we are 8 in number.
So what do you do that you have such big hearts to do this?
Currently, I'm not working.
So how do
I
you
stopped
get money?
working in 2011.
How do you get funds?
So, well, basically, even if I'm not working, I do business.
Oh.
So whatever the proceeds from my business, this is my passion. Even after graduation, sort of going back to the normal life, search for job. This is what I want to do. Everything about me is selfless service to young people. That's what I've been
So
doing.
what time is the program today?
7 p.m. for the
Okay.
red carpet welcome, and we intend to make it snappy because
Okay.
it's a dinner.
Okay,
By
thank
10
you.
p.m. we'll
All right,
happen.
thank you very much. And to you, Umar, how would people contact you if they want to help with this project?
You visit our office at the Voice of Islam, 84 Circular Road, or you contact the following numbers that I'm calling out now. You contact me on 099-587385, 099-587385, or you visit our office at the Voice of Islam, 84 Circular Road, 5th floor.
Okay, thank you very much. And I forgot about that, Momodu. How, apart from the marathon, if people want to contact you guys, how would they get you?
2 ways. One, we have the website for donation, www.sickpikin, as PIKIN, sickpikin.org,
Okay.
www.sickpikin.org. we also have the lead campaigners number, which we do give out. It's 076 722 736.
Okay, thank you very much. And to you, gents, when will this launching take place?
Yeah, today, of course, today at Eastern Paris, 8:30.
So will she be the only one performing, or would you showcase other artists
All
on
artists across the country in all Republic will be there, and of course all our young talents who are coming up will also be there to showcase their talents.
Okay, thank you very much. And Isa too, I'm calling you by your child's name. I know you wouldn't mind. Well, after these 3 days, how would people contact you to first engage in what you do, be a part of like the training and all,
Yeah.
and also see the products you have?
We have our showroom. The Azealia showroom is on Aberdeen Road, Sir Samuel Lewis Road, 8D Sir Samuel Lewis Road, and it's the building directly opposite Foodland Supermarket. But you can also contact us on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on all the social media platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter, and it's Azealia Fashion on all three or all social media. But also on phone, you can reach us on 099 200 300 or 076 57 6060. And we're online as well on www.izelia.co.uk.
Okay.
Yes, so please get in touch.
All right, thank you very much. Well, that's how we end the podium for this afternoon. Many thanks to my studio guests for being part of the program. Our quote for today came from Itzhak Palman, an Israeli musician, and it says, "There is no medicine like hope, no incentive so great, and no tonic so powerful as expectation of something tomorrow." My producer has been Salma Taba. My name is Staff Designer Kama. So we'll meet again. Goodbye. Have a blessed weekend.